What up, everybody? With only 2 episodes left of Power Book 2 Ghosts, I expect that there's going to be a lot of bloodshed in these last 2 episodes, with at least 2 major deaths in each episode. And when I say major deaths, I'm talking about main characters, not randoms or even recurring characters. And I know there was a lot of talk after the cancellation about how they didn't know it was going to be the final season. But like I've said before, we've got to take what the cast says with a grain of salt, because in a recent interview on the Your Boyfriend Can't Cook podcast with Chris Lofton, who plays Jannard on Force, Woody MacLean, who plays Kane, said that he actually got the news while on set recording season 4. So they might not have known it was over when they first started filming for season 4, but likely by the time these final 2 episodes were filmed, when the deaths of some main characters took place, they already knew. With that said, the 10 main characters from Power Book 2 are Tariq as the lead character, then Monet, Carter, Davis, Braden, Kane, Drew, Diana, Effie, and Noma. And I feel like at least 4 of them, possibly more, won't survive these final 2 episodes. So in this video, I'm going to break down who is most likely to take out who and what characters I feel are the most likely to get killed in the last 2 episodes. At the same time, keep it in mind that a main reason why Book 2 is being cancelled is because it's becoming too expensive. It was already by far the most expensive book in the Power franchise, with Mary J receiving 400 bands an episode, Method Man and Michael Rainey Jr. each receiving 150 bands an episode. In addition to that, the Star CEO said in an interview not too long ago that after seasons 3 and 4 is when the actors begin to negotiate for a higher salary. Almost like in sports, how an athlete makes more after their rookie deal is over with if they were successful. And numbers wise, Book 2 is the most successful book in the franchise. So because of that, everyone's looking for a bigger payday. And much like a sports team must make hard choices at times because they can't pay everyone they want because of the salary cap, this is also the dilemma that Starz is facing with Power Book 2. And this is the real reason why Book 2 is being cancelled in the first place, because it's more cost effective to continue the story of a couple characters in another spin-off. So because of that, the first character we gotta look at getting smoked is Monet Tejada. Right now, Monet has a target on her back from Noma and Detective Carter after they just united in episode 8 and realized that they had a common enemy. So either Noma or Carter could take out Monet. But I don't think that will happen at the same time, because she does have her 2 sons working with them. And they might be quick to cross Monet when it comes to business, but it'll be a different story when it comes to taking their mother's life. At one point, we thought if Monet was going to get taken out, it would be at the hands of one of her own children. But now Diana and Drew have somewhat moved past Lorenzo's death and no longer want revenge against Monet. But if any of her children do take her out, I think it'll be Diana. The beginning of episode 1, Monet told Tariq that Diana isn't the same girl anymore. And at the end of episode 7, Diana did look like some old wounds were opened up when Carter said Monet chose the plug over her family. And also because of the parallels they've already showed between Tariq and Diana. Unless someone from Monet's past, like a lost family member of the Castillos or somebody we forgot about, comes back to kill Monet for revenge, the only other person who I think might could kill Monet is Tariq. Because there's a chance that Carter could stir up Monet and Tariq against each other, like he already tried doing earlier in this season in episode 4, to get the 2 to go to war with each other, just like they did with him and Noma, because the trailer shows Tariq lighting Monet's car on fire. But if Monet does get killed, the writing's not on the wall, but the character I think is almost guaranteed dead next episode is Davis MacLean. Carter exposed to Noma that Monet and Tariq knew about her attempt to bribe a government official. They could have only found this out through Davis. So Noma will know that Davis double-crossed her, and Kane will be more than eager to put a bullet in Davis. Getting me to Noma, another character who I give a high possibility of dying in the final episodes, because she is currently about to marry Kane, who could be planning to kill her once she signs the paperwork. But because she has all her assets secured, if Kane kills Noma, I think it would be more likely to protect his family than to take her business. But a wild card for Noma, and who I think is more likely to take out Noma than Cain, is Noma's daughter, Anya Covington. Anya now pretty much knows what Noma really does for a living, even though Noma tried pinning everything on her father, Francesco Lombardi. And I also think that Anya knows that Noma killed her father. And Anya is the person who Noma would least expect to come for her. And just like I think Noma will get taken off the board, I also think her new ally, Dawn Carter, will be taken off the board as well. I think Carter's death could potentially be big. Possibly someone killing Carter in the nick of time to save Tariq. If Ghost were to return, this might be when he does. But there's also Rashad Tate, who still has to get payback for his brother, and that's who I think will pull the trigger and kill Carter. There's also the possibility of someone like Braden, Diana, or Davis taking out Carter to save Tariq, or Tariq smoking Carter himself. Either way, I definitely don't think Carter's surviving this book, but we never know. He might be someone's op in a future book. I think it's likely that at least 3 out of the 4, Monet, Davis, Noma, and Carter, get taken off the board, if not all 4 of them, leaving the characters most likely to survive being Tariq, Braden, Cain, Drew, Effie, and Diana. The actors who play these characters recently did an interview on Blavity about the final season of Book 2. I thought that this might be a clue about who will survive, but at the same time, I still do think there's a chance that one of these characters will have Christmas canceled. At the same time, even if all 6 survive, this doesn't mean we will see all 6 of them on the same spinoff again either. But if one of these characters were to get killed, this is who I think will be most likely to take them out, starting with Tariq. Who would be worthy of taking out a character like Tariq? Could he go out like Kanan in a shootout with the police? Because it was Tariq himself who shot Ghost in the final episode of Power. Could Ghost return and actually kill Tariq just as soon as he thinks he's going to make it out the game, like Tariq tried to do to Ghost? Let me know in the comments if Tariq were to get taken out, who you think it would be, as well as your prediction for the other characters. Getting me to Braden Weston. I think most likely if Braden dies in the final episodes, it will be because he takes his own life. Braden's strung out at this point and not thinking with his right mind. And once he comes down off his current high and realizes he killed a man and Elle just broke up with him, he might get depressed, then get high again, then take his own life. I was told this was originally how Tommy was supposed to die in Power. I don't know if there's any truth to that or just hearsay. Getting me to the Tejada brothers, Cain and Drew. If one of them were to get knocked off in the final episodes, brother killing brother could be a real possibility, especially now that they started a little beef competing over the streets in episode 8. But like I said about Monet, I also think that's more business, and one of them taking the other out is a different level that I don't think that either one of them is going to go to. But like Cain warned Monet, she could get him and Drew killed behind this Carter. So with that said, I wouldn't be surprised if either one of them went down similar to how Kanan went down in Power. And they both have their bosses to worry about if they double cross them in any way for Monet. I think Cain has a little more to worry about concerning Noma because she's also jealous of his relationship with Effie. And she told them that they needed to put an end to things, but again, I think that's more out of jealousy than anything. So she could walk in on them hooking up and put a bullet in both of them out of jealousy. And I think that's really the only person Effie has to worry about at this point, just trying to avoid getting killed by Noma. And finishing up with Diana. Diana doesn't have any enemies, so she's the person I think that has the best chance of surviving this book. But if she does get killed, it will most likely be in the shootout that she's getting herself involved in that we see in the episode 9 trailer. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.